Right, welcome back. I can happily say that the Scout Trooper on the bike, speeder bike, is all finished. It's all been weathered and the last bit of detailing's been done. And it's looking really nice just on the stand on its own. So here's the final reveal. Right, so I haven't put the Trooper back on his bike yet because I wanted to show you what I've done. So I've finished off all the detail. Like I said, I've put the hands on and they don't quite meet the handlebars. So I've done some wash, some earthshade, agrax earthshade from Citadel, which is like a browny colour. I've also done some earth brown and streaking dirt weathering pencil work. Done a bit of detail on the belts there, the buckles there, and one on the other side. I've also been using my weathering pencils, like I said, with the earth brown and the streaking dirt, and just dirtied these boots up. I haven't gone a party political broadcast, it's very subtle. Right, another thing I've done was put a tread pattern on the bottom of his shoe, on the bottom of his boots, because on the Bandai version you actually get a plastic piece and it's like very indentated, really well done, like on a pair of Doc Martens or a pair of work boots. But on this it was just flat. So what I've done is I just got my scribe and just copied the pattern off the Bandai as close as I could, and then just got my pin drill and just drilled in very slightly, and that makes that look a hell of a lot better. And you can see the primer grey, but I think the primer grey actually brings out the tread a lot better. So done that bit of detailing for the gun in his side pouch on his leg. Very subtle, like I said, on the dirt and on the back as well. Round the back on the utility belt, detailed that up at the back sticking out pouch there. Also, I glued that bit of card with those little domes on, just to give that a bit of, fill that gap, fill that emptiness. So that's all glued on. Bit of detailing around the helmet on the side, and then I've done a little bit of black on the weathering pencils on his shoulders. Nothing too major, just very subtle indeed. And that's pretty much it for the figure. Right, for the bike itself, I used a combination of silver and grey off paint, dry brushing, and a bit of my weathering pencil action as well. Again, not party political broadcast, just very subtle. And I also detailed the handlebars, because they had to be silver. I did those in gunmetal and left the grips in the black, and then on the edges of the grips just done those in gunmetal as well. Just a bit of silver dry brushing. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I've got my brown earth weathering pencils and dirtied up the stirrups where his feet go. Now, with the blanket, I've done the felt. From there to there is 40mm. So what I did is I cut it 80mm wide, then folded on the inside to make it back to 40, and then just rolled it to get my pattern. But the only trouble is, I think it might be slightly too big. Well, slightly too high, I should say. I've got my 4mm wide ribbon, which I picked up for 20 pence for the metre from the the haberdashery shop in Bilston Indoor Market. And then I cut a couple of strips of double-sided sticky tape, and that's held that down lovely. Now, with that being as tall as it is, I've actually got this cloth. Now, my wife bought some off Amazon last week, and the the actual seller actually used some old rag to use as packaging. So there's me felt. I drew a line 80mm across, 20mm, 20mm, folded it over, and I used a bit of a webbed surgical tape to hold that and that together like that, and then I folded it. But the rag, here's a bit of that rag, and like I said, they used it as packaging, and I've measured it the same as that, folded it in, used that bit of tape, and this one is a hell of a lot thinner. So if I put that to there, and you can see that is a hell of a lot thinner. I don't know what to use there. I don't know whether just to keep the felt or use that. I don't know yet. Right, so going around the back, pull this forward. I've glued the flaps on. If you remember, I put that little, you can see the little bit of sponge just in there. So I used the super glue. So where's my foil? There we go. So what I've done is I put a bit of super glue on that little tab that was on the back of the flap, and then a drop of super glue on that little bit of foam that I used, and it's opening out really nice. You can still see the inside vents. Now with the inside vents, I dried them in some silver and some number 26 Umbro brown, because obviously when they're speeding along, I reckon the mud and stuff's probably going to sweep itself back up, especially if it's raining. And just got a bit of that on there. Done a bit of silver dry brushing on the back vents there, and on the back areas here, just put a drop of silver dry brush. And then same again on the other side, bit of dry brush and silver, and a bit of grey as well, and on the controls there, and on the underneath there, and on the underneath up there, just like I said, just a bit of silver dry brush and a bit of grey. Right, I accidentally flicked my finger onto the stop button. Bit of dry brushing, bit of that earth brown pencil, weathering pencils in the stirrups there, and pretty much all the same all the way around. A bit on the handlebars as well, and on the steering arms and the flaps as well. Now, whoops, do you remember the that bit of cord that I had off the Munsters kit? When I put these on, I found it quite difficult to manoeuvre with my tweezers. I probably should have put them in before I glued them on. So what I've done is I've got my tweezers, got it inside, and then pushed it the best I could. I haven't really need to glue that, or in there either. But the trouble is they won't bend into the channels on here. I thought they might have done, but they wouldn't. Because when I tried to bend it, it kept popping out of there. So I've just left them, I've left them as it is. It looks alright, you know. On the film, I think, like I said, the cable tied to the insides are there, but that's okay. It's not a problem. But I'm liking this the way it is. Not bad at all. Right, so I'm just going to pause this a sec so I can get the figure on to the bike. Right, so putting the figure on the bike. There it is. Like I said, it's a shame that the hands won't tuck into the handlebars, but that's fine. The hand controls. Like I said, I definitely think it was the blue tack that was giving it that extra bit of, you know, extra bit of length to get it in there. But like I said, I can pass this off. He's just got on the bike. He's positioning himself right, and he's just getting ready to speed off, because my feet won't go right in there. If I put that foot, if I put his hands in there, his feet are going to be over the stirrups. That's the only problem. But yeah, with that and the blanket, it don't look too bad. Probably ain't going to be 100% movie accurate, but I'm liking this the way it is. He sits on there perfect, and his arse is perfectly on the seat, which I'm glad of. So I'm glad I took that off and you know, put the sponge on the underneath. The sponge, the bloody styrofoam. So yeah, so looking really, really nice. Just turn it round. Not bad at all. I'd love to see this side by side with the Bandai, because the Bandai is 112 and this is 111. But yeah, for a 1980s kit, it's come together really, really well. I had my few issues, as I've said, you know about my issues, but apart from that, I'm loving how this has come out. Right, so as usual, I'll put some stills on at the end of this video. Again, I always say it, hopefully I haven't bored you too much. And the next part of the this playlist now will be for the Endor base that I'm doing. So those are going to be separate videos but in the same playlist. So with that being said, I want to thank you very much for watching.